Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel, guys. Welcome. Thank you for joining me in this live section. So guys, we have a lot to talk about in this live section. Guys, stay tuned and stay to the end of this live section. So guys, surprisingly, Wike has come out to say that he's ready to defend Nnamdi Kanu if the court summons him. People are saying, you that build house for you that built house for judges, are you waiting for the judges to come and summon you? This is what people are actually saying. So, in a dramatic twist to the ongoing trial of the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, Nnamdi Kanu, the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, has spoken out for the first time since his name appeared among those Kanu wishes to call as witnesses in his defense. But Wike is making one of the he's making it clear. He said he will only appear in court if judicial formally compels him to. That is what Wike said. He said until Justice James Omotosho or the court tell him to come. Can you imagine? Kanu is telling you that you're going to be one of my witnesses. Even up to now, I'm still surprised by seeing Wike there as one of Kanu's defense team. Instead of him to come up as Nnamdi Kanu ordered, he's saying that the court should tell him to summon him first before he can come and defend Nnamdi Kanu. You see all this is I'm telling you. Anyways, guys, also we're going to also look at how they treated Showore today. Guys, Showore was really manhandled today. You guys know that he was arrested and then the magistrate court granted him bail. And guys, after some minutes he was granted bail. More than 50 policemen, about 50 of them, stormed that place, and guys, they said they were taking Showore out to Kuje prison. They're taking him, to Kuje prison, guys. And then they asked, Adeyanji was also there. They asked the policemen, where are you taking him to? They said Kuje prison, and then showed not like they just flashed a remand order saying there is a remand order here. Instead of the people asked the policeman to show us the remand order, let us see. The policeman refused, took Showore, handled him, even tore his shirt. You're going to see a video on that, guys, on how they treated Showore. Even Nigerians reacted to it badly. Imagine. Guys, first of all, take a look at what Wike said concerning his readiness to defend Kanu if court summons him. Take a look, guys, and I'll be right back.
Honorable Minister, if I may deviate a bit from politics, just quickly, a case currently ongoing, Nnamdi Kanu'S case in court. There was a protest on Monday, but he was set to open his defense yesterday, and you were listed as one of his witnesses.
Compelling witness.
Alongside a number of other notable Nigerians, so former Attorney General, some governors, former governors as well, and another minister, Dave Umahi, was listed as well. I do not know if you're aware of this and why it is that you have been listed as one of the witnesses in this case.
And if you see Nnamdi Kanu, you ask him, why did he list me? I did not go to say I want to be a witness. You are the one saying that. So if you see him, ask him, why did you list Wike as one of your witnesses?
Have you not seen it?
I'm coming. Mm-hmm. I don't list. See, you don't become a witness by reading newspaper. Mm-hmm. Nobody has served me any process. Nobody has subpoenaed me. So because I saw Wike's listed, therefore, I'm going to run helter skelter. No, you don't do that. If I am served, if I'm subpoenaed to come and give witness, or to give evidence, I must obey the court. I must appear. But not on pages of newspaper. Nobody does that.
Excellency.
And so as to why I should be listed, he who chooses me there, you should ask him the question. But if I am invited, if I'm supposed to come, go home and sleep. I will be there.
So, guys, you've heard what Wike said. He said if the court summons him, that he's going to be there to defend Nnamdi Kanu. Like I said, I don't know who put Wike's name there. Anyways, let's see how everything will play out. So, the case of the federal government's, versus Nnamdi Kanu has taken a new turn on Thursday in a move that stormed legal observers. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu disengaged his entire legal team, led by senior advocate of Nigeria, Kani Agabi, and then these developments came just before the court scheduled to open the defense phase for his trial, a case centered on charges of terrorism, treason, and incitement against the Nigerian state. So, but Kanu didn't just stop there. He submitted a list of 23 witnesses divided into two categories: ordinary but material witnesses and vital and compellable witnesses, in accordance with Section 232 of the Evidence Act 2011. And among these names are some of the most powerful political military figures in Nigeria. Now, one of them is Danjuma, former Minister of Defense. Also, we have former Chief of Army Staff, Babajide Sanwo-Olu, Governor of Lagos State, Hope Uzodinma, Governor of Imo State, and Nyesom Wike, current Minister of the Federal Capital Territory. Other notable mentions include former Abia State Governor Okezie Ikpeazu, Minister of Works Dave Umahi, former Attorney General Abubakar Malami, and the heads of Nigerian Security and Intelligence Agency, past and present. So this lineup, many have said, looks more like a political reckoning than a courtroom witness list. So guys, when asked about his inclusion on the witness list, Wike's response was calm but firm. Speaking during an interview in Abuja Friday, Wike said, according to him, he said, and I quote, "You don't become a witness by reading the newspaper. Nobody has served me any process. Nobody has summoned me. So because I was listed, I will begin to run helter skelter. No, you do not do that. If I am served or summoned to appear as a witness or provide evidence, then I will comply." So Wike's statement makes it clear he won't be dragged into the Kanu saga unless court himself issue a formal summons. So in his words, this is not about political drama or public speculation. It's about due process. So Wike's reaction opens a deeper conversation about Nigeria's legal system and political undertones surrounding Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's trial by law. Any witness, no matter how highly placed, can be compelled to testify under a valid court summon. But in practice, calling such high-ranking figures to the stand can set off wave of political tension and institutional resistance. Legal experts have described Kanu's list as strategic by naming military leaders and governors and federal ministers. He may be seeking to expose what he calls the state machinery behind his arrest, rendition, and alleged human rights violation. Others believe it's a calculated move to force transparency in a case that has dragged on for years. So in the Southeast, the reaction is mixed but largely emotional. Many Igbo groups see Wike name on the list as symbolic, considering his complex relationship with the region and his recent role as a federal minister under President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's administration. So critics argue that the federal government continues to apply selective justice, harsh against agitators, lenient towards politicians accused of corruption or violence. For them, the Wike statement is a reminder of a broader problem: different rules for different region and an individual. So as things stand, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has started to personally defend himself, a rare move in Nigerian legal history. Yes, decision to represent himself could reshape how this case unfolds, especially now that he intends to cross-examine powerful figures if the court allows him. If the court issues summons for witnesses like Wike, Sanwo-Olu, it could lead to one of the most politically charged court appearances in recent memory. Until then, Wike says he remains focused on his duty as FCT minister and will only appear before the judge if compelled by the law, not politics. So Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's case continues to test Nigeria's justice system, actually, a system that may argue she struggles to balance fairness, power, and political interest. Will the court summon Wike? Will the order comply? If caught, only time will tell. This is a developing story and we'll keep bringing every details that unfolds and details you need to know. So guys, over to the fact that Showere, okay, in case you have not watched the video when Wike said that he will come to defend Kanu if the court summons him. Take a look, guys.
Honorable Minister, if I may deviate a bit from politics, just quickly, a case currently ongoing, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu'S case in court. There was a protest on Monday, but he was set to open his defense yesterday. And you were listed as one of his witnesses.
Compelling witness.
Alongside a number of other notable Nigerians. So former Attorney General, some governors, former governors as well, and another minister, Dave Umahi, was listed as well. I do not know if you're aware of this and why it is that you have been listed as one of the witnesses in this case.
And if you see Nnamdi Kanu, you ask him, why did he list me? I did not go to say I want to be a witness. You are the one saying that. So if you see him, ask him, why did you list Wike as one of your witnesses?
Have you not seen it?
I'm coming. Mm-hmm. I don't list. See, you don't become a witness by reading newspaper. Mm-hmm. Nobody has served me any process. Nobody has subpoenaed me. So because I saw Wike's listed, therefore, I'm going to run helter skelter. No, you don't do that. If I am served, if I'm subpoenaed to come and give witness or to give evidence, I must obey the court. I must appear. But not on pages of newspapers. Nobody does that.
Excellency.
And so, as to why I should be listed, he who chooses me there, you should ask him the question. But if I am invited, if I'm supposed to come, go home and sleep. I will be there.
So, guys, you've heard what Wike said. You've heard what he said. He said that if the court summons him, then he'll be there to defend Nnamdi Kanu. And I feel this defense will start on the 27th of this month, October 2025. So now over to what happened to Showore today, guys. Showore was manhandled, which Nigerians has condemned, guys. What is really going on in this country? They said that guys, they actually released or granted Showore bail. He was arrested and then they granted him bail immediately. Like about 50 policemen stormed that scene where Showore was, and then manhandled him. According to what they said he tore his clothes. They even tore his clothes, guys. They flashed a remand order. They said they should remand him. They said they were taking him to Kuje prison, guys. Nigerians has actually reacted to this. Guys, quickly take a look at what these people say. Take a look, guys.
As I was coming to the court premises, what I saw today, I couldn't believe it. Even the judge who was about to enter, they denied him entrance to the court. Even me, I was like surprised what was happening and everything. Even at the end of the court, he was granted bail. For Christ's sake, the way they manhandled Showore was just so. In fact, I just feel there is no justice in this country. It's just so bad. See how the policemen with bomb. What do they call this one? Grenades. Is it a war front? I don't understand. Let them go to Zafara now. This thing is just so. In fact, I just don't know. They are not making us to feel this is our country. It's just so bad. Everything, everybody was just running. Even the court that was going on, everything was just disrupted. It's just so bad, honestly. My name is Nyesom Wike.
So what we have seen today is a very shameful situation of the police law enforcement agent using undue force on a Nigerian for no justifiable cause. What we have seen today is a flagrant abuse for the judiciary. What we have seen here today is a desecration of the temple of justice, because the police came in their numbers. In fact, one would think that there was a war about to happen here. Even as lawyers were resisted from entering into these premises. Even lawyers who were not members of the legal team of Mr. Showore were stopped from coming to do their own case here. And when Mr. Showore was granted bail, they were disappointed, because I think they expected that the magistrate should connive with them in denying Mr. Showore bail. Unfortunately, out of that disappointment, they went and manufactured what they called a remand order, a purported remand order. And when we demanded to see a copy of these purported remand orders, the refused to show any copy to any of the legal representatives of Mr. Shore. Mr. Shore is entitled to behold, to see, his counsels are entitled to see a copy of the court order which they purport to bind him. If there is a remand order, and Mr. Shore is here, and that remand order was legitimate and true, then he ought to have been shown. He was never shown any remand order, but at the point of questioning the police officers, just to see a copy of the remand warrant or the remand order, they began to harass him. I have not seen this level of disgrace by a law enforcement agency since my years of practicing law. Courts were sitting, all the courts that were sitting had to rise because of the kind of chaotic way that the Nigerian police force conducted themselves in these premises today. So this is an abuse of the powers of the police. And then, it was not only Mr. Shore that was affected in this chaos that the police demonstrated here today. Lawyers were affected. Lawyers were injured. Lawyers were arrested. Ordinary Nigerians who wanted to capture the experience of what was happening today were arrested and bundled out of this place simply for videoing the situation with their phone. People who were trading were beaten and their goods were destroyed in these premises today. Lawyers who came to represent a lawyer who came to represent a client here today was arrested because he was calling his client and said, okay, court is now sitting. Where are you now? They bundled him away that nobody should use phone because the police were in the premises and they were afraid of being videoed or being captured on tape because of the manner they were conducting themselves. So it is the highest level of misfortune. There are a lot of issues, but most importantly, the ordinary Nigerians who were affected here today, we must take it into account. The journalists who were affected here today must report it in mass. Many journalists were prevented from entering these premises today, and you all know. So let us report this in mass. Lawyers, we don't even know the lawyer. We are trying to look for the client who he came to represent, but he has been arrested and bundled out of this place today. So it's a shameful situation. It's unfortunate. It's an abuse of power, and it is not something that we expect that Nigerians should continue to condone, because they brought Mr. Shore here on the purported allegation that Mr. Shore has flaunted and violated court order. Meanwhile, they have flaunted and violated the court order granting Mr. Shore bail here because they did not allow him the opportunity to perfect his bail. If you grant somebody bail and you give the person conditions, bring a shorty. It is for me to now call somebody that I know meets the bail condition to come and shorty me. They have not even given him the opportunity to call anybody or to discuss with anybody to come and stand shorty for him. But we are working on all that procedure as it is now. AK Musa is my name. So, to make an appeal to the NBA to intervene on behalf of our colleague, one Barrister Abdullahi, who was harassed and bundled out of these premises today to an unknown destination and for an unjust cause. His simple offense was that he was making a call, calling his client. Because of the rowdiness that the police caused here today, his client was finding it difficult to enter the premises, and he was calling his client to come to the court. And the police, because they saw him using his phone, arrested him and bundled him away from these premises. So we are calling on the NBA to please intervene on behalf of this our colleague who has committed no offense other than coming to court to represent his client. The fear of the police was that they were being videoed and they didn't want anybody to use their phones. So we are calling on the NBA president and all the chairman of the various branches that we have. We don't know the particular branch that this lawyer practices, but we are calling on the NBA to intervene in this matter. Okay.
My name is Barrister Chimezi Oko. I'm surprised at what happened today inside the court premises. The way Sowore was beaten and manhandled inside court premises, while the judge has granted him bail. In fact, I've not seen this for the past 20-something years or 26 years I've been practicing. I've not seen this type. You see, it is really an aberration. And this was a desecration of the court premises, because even when a criminal comes here, he's assumed to be innocent until the contrary is proved. And when even if you detain a criminal here, once he comes here, you release him. You release him or the handcuff and everything, because inside the court premises there is an immunity. But the way police overtook the premises, even with their bullion vans, with all these armored cars in the whole premises, creating fear. created panic among people. Even my client could not come in because he was afraid what is coming. You understand? Today is really an aberration, and the Ministry of Justice, the judiciary, the NJC should look into it. Even we lawyers, we are being intimidated when we say, "Kai, why this thing can't go to the Zambiza forest? What you came in here is equivalent to what is happening in Zambiza. Here is not Zambiza. Here is a court premises. It has its own immunity, has its own respect. But desecrating it is by arresting somebody the judge has granted bail. That means it goes to no issue. That means you now render police above the judiciary, or is the judiciary still above the third arm of government? I'm really, really highly disappointed. I'm not happy with what happened today. Barrister Chimezi Oko, I'm not happy with what happened inside the court premises today. I'm really, really.
Granted bail to the prison, not at all. My name is Charles Ebenilope. I'm a legal practitioner. With what I saw here today, I got so disappointed and frustrated because what we're seeing in this society, as if we're in a Gestapo society, which is not. They try to harass each and every one of us. The court has granted bail. Yes. The next thing, they brought the document and we asked, we want to see the content of this document. They insisted that no, we will not see. Let's know the place that the court has ordered that the defendant be taken to. They refused to show it to us. We insisted that that document is a public document that we had the right to see. Even Shaware himself insisted that he needed to see, and they refused. The next thing, they were warning all of us, threatening us, wanting to beat us up because we want to fight for our right as a country.
So, guys, you've heard what the witnesses that saw what happened in court today. Like, I didn't. There was no video of when the policemen came, because you heard that they were actually are trying to avoid people from taking record of what happened. Even people that wanted to or video what happened, they arrested them. They bundled, beat them, and arrested them, guys. Even a lawyer that was trying to make call, telling his clients where he was, they arrested him too. That's to tell you they don't want to use police they don't want to use police to. So, like I said, even a client that was, trying to call, sorry, a lawyer that was trying to call his client, to know where he was, they arrested him and bonded him out, guys. You can imagine the height of harassment these policemen are. You can imagine the way they are molesting and harassing people in this country. What is all this? What is all this? They say police is your friend. It's not that we know that these police are actually enemies. You go out to protest, they'll arrest you, they'll be using bullets against you, using tear gas. You just imagine what happened in court. You heard how me, so if I didn't even see what happened, but with this explanation by people that witnessed it, I'm already disappointed. Imagine there was a remand order. Show people the remand order. Let's see. Before Shawere can follow, you don't just follow because you're wearing uniform, doesn't mean you're God. If you have a remand order that you want to remand someone, show the person you want to remand. Look at the remand order before you take him out. But they refuse to show that remand order, and they bundle Shawere. Like the way they dealt with Shawere, according to what they were saying, they said the way they dealt with him, guy, this is the height of it. They even tore his clothes. Keeping silence, the president, for him to keep silence to this is not good at all. Oh. It's not good. It shows that anyone can just come out and arrest you or take you away. That's what it shows. What's going on in this country? So, in what many are calling a shocking display of abuse of power, Nigerian activist and human rights advocate Omoyele Sowore has reportedly manhandled by security operative shortly after being granted bail by a court of law. Eyewitnesses say over 50 armed policemen stormed the premises, assaulted him, and he waived a so-called remand order, one they refused to show to anyone despite public remand, guys, or public demand for the policemen to show them. So, despite public demand, they refused to show the people the remand order. According to reports, he called the Inspector General of Police useless. Now, I think look at according to what that man said, I'll still play you that video. That man said that, okay, welcome back. If you're joining me now, welcome to my channel, guys. Welcome to my channel. So we're talking about a lot of things. We're talking about how they manhandled Showore in court today, guys. You can imagine how, guys, just take a look at this video and I'll be right back.
As I was coming to the court premises, what I saw today, I couldn't believe it. Even the judge who was about to enter, they denied him entrance to the court. Even me, I was like surprised what was happening and everything. Even at the end of the court, he was granted bail. For Christ's sake, the way they manhandled Showore was just so. In fact, I just feel there is no justice in this country. It's just so bad. See how the policemen with bomb. What do they call this one? Grenades. Is it a war front? I don't understand. Let them go to Zafara now. This thing is just so. In fact, I just don't know. They are not making us to feel this is our country. It's just so bad. Everything, everybody was just running. Even the court that was going on, everything was just disrupted. It's just so bad. Honestly. My name is Nyesom Wike.
So what we have seen today is a very shameful situation of the police law enforcement agent using undue force on a Nigerian for no justifiable cause. What we have seen today is a flagrant abuse for the judiciary. What we have seen here today is a desecration of the temple of justice because the police came in their numbers. In fact, one would
So, guys, let me take over from this man. He said that the way they came, you would think that a war is going on, guys. Can you imagine they came with armored car, came with grenades, came as if there's a war going on. This is the energy that's supposed to put inside the bush to buy all these bad guys. But then look at what is happening. So, according to what that man said in that video, he said that the police expected, they wanted, or they were expecting that the courts remand Showore or deny him bail. Yes, but unfortunately, the court granted Showore bail, and then he came out. Guys, immediately they came in because of it didn't go as planned as they planned. They now came and brought one remand order and then flashed it and said this is the remand order, and they refused to show Showore the person they are taking out or the person they are remanding, the remand order, guys. Can you imagine? And then they bundled him, guys. What is going on in this country? What is going on? You want to remand someone, you're not even showing the person proof that you want to remand. Showore has the right, the public have the right to see the remand order before taking him anywhere, guys. But then the way they dealt with Showore, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. What is going on? So, guys, according to reports, they said he called the Inspector General of Police useless. This is not just another headline. It's a story about the shrinking space of democracy and decency in Nigeria. Guys, Omole Showore is not a stranger to controversies or confrontation. A journalist, publisher of Sahara Reporters, and a two-time presidential candidate, Showore has spent decades challenging corruption, impunity, and authoritarianism in Nigeria. Guys, in 2019, he was detained for calling a nationwide protest tagged #RevolutionNow, a movement the government deemed a threat to national security. He has since faced continuous harassment, multiple arrests, and repeated violation of his fundamental rights despite numerous court orders for his release. Guys, but the most recent events added another disturbing chapter of that history, guys. According to eyewitnesses and journalists present at the scene, Showore has just been granted bail at a routine court hearing. As he exited the courtroom, there was a scene of relief, a rare victory for justice, however temporarily. But within minutes, the atmosphere shifted. More than 50 policemen, heavily equipped, some in tactical gear, stormed in the area. They stormed the area, they surrounded Showore, manhandled him, and attempted to forcefully whisk him away. When bystanders, journalists demanded to see the remand order, they claimed to have the officers, the officers refused. They were shouting confusion and visible tension. They were shouting, there was confusion and visible tension. Witnesses described the scene as lawless, police acting like enforcers of intimidation, not justice. So sources suggest that immediate cause of this aggression was Showore's earlier public criticism of the Inspector General of Police. In the moment of frustration, Showore reportedly called the IGP useless, a statement that quickly went viral. But instead of addressing the issue through due legal channels. Security operatives allegedly used the remark as a personal vendetta, turning a bail release into an ambush. Observers say this reaction exposes a deeper problem where public officials, instead of embodying professionalism, often use the instruments of the state to silence critics. So eyewitnesses say Showore was shoved, beaten, dragged towards a waiting police van. Despite being granted bail, he was treated like a criminal in full view of cameras and journalists. So guys, civil rights group quickly condemned the act, calling it blatant abuse of judicial authority. Human rights lawyer Efyong, he said, "You can disagree with Shore, but what happened to him today is an insult of the constitution. The police have become an enemy to justice." Online Nigerians demanded accountability. Many asked, how can a man be granted bail in democracy country only to be rearrested outside the same court that set him free? Guys, this is what is going on in Nigeria. When pressed for clarification, the police spokesperson reportedly offered no detailed explanation. The alleged remand order was never produced publicly. Instead, the force maintained that Showore's comments against the IGP was provocative and defamatory, a justification many legal analysts dismisses as unconstitutional. So, under Nigerian law, criticism of public officials, no matter how harsh, is not a criminal. It's not a criminal offense. Freedom of expression is protected under 39 of the 1999 Constitution. So the question remains, why was Showore brutalized instead of being properly charged or invited? Guys, so this incident is not just another show, it's not even about Showore, it's about the fragile state of Nigeria's democracy, when law enforcement agencies ignore court ruling, refuse transparency, and use force against dissenting voices. The message is clear: the law is no longer the protector, it has become a weapon. Legal observers warn that such incidents erode citizens' trust in the judiciary, discourage political participation, and embodies impunity among those in power. If a public figure like Showore can be openly assaulted despite court protection, what chance does the average Nigerian citizen have? Tell me. So Showore's incident is just another reminder that Nigeria stands at a crossroad between democracy and dictatorship. When those who demand accountability are treated like enemies of the state, the rule of law begins to crumble. The question is not just whether the police acted illegally, it's whether those in power will ever face consequences for using state institutions as instruments of revenge. So, as for now, Nigeria continues to demand answer. Why was Showore assaulted after bail? Where is the supposed remand order? And when will the police learn that respect for the law is not optional? It is the foundation of every democracy. If you believe in justice, truth, and freedom, don't forget to like, share, drop a comment under the comment section. Guys, thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.